I know they were looking for somebody who had shot in Mexico before, and I had shot in a movie in Mexico probably 4 years ago or 5 years ago. So I'd worked with a lot of crew in Mexico, and I was not scared about shooting in Mexico. I was excited about it. I knew that our resources would go further. I knew there was incredible crew. I knew that it would bring a certain tonal palette to the movie, and it would also give us the opportunity to set the movie in this sort of interesting locale, and something that Saw needed and hasn't fully been able to explore in a lot of the films is just because so many of them have been set in isolated, limited kind of spaces. This gave us a chance to kind of open up the world, go into other locations, see a lot of new things. When Kevin and I started talking about the janitor trap, one thing we wanted to do was, first of all, this is the audience's first trap in the movie. It is what is going to sort of keep their asses glued to the seats. And it is something that needs to make kind of a, brandish kind of it needs to be a big moment and suck the audience right in. So that was like, for me, the starting point was just, how do we create a scene and a trap that excites the audience about where they're headed and what's going to happen and how much they're going to get to see into John's world in his head. So when I started thinking about it, I still took the same approach of the traps are all the accentuated, heightened version of the real space. So every trap is, we have base lighting inside of the warehouse, but when we see the trap, it's like there's an edge to it. It's a little bit more heightened. I saw the location, the warehouse, for the first time, and I remember walking into it and just being like, okay, this is going to be my home for a while. And, I walked around with a DSLR and just shot like a bunch of images around the place just to get a sense of it and sort of just start to take it in. But, in order to figure out the lighting for the space, I knew I was going to do practical lighting for a lot of the lighting because we wanted to shoot very 360, which Kevin had never had the chance to do before. And I've done it on a couple projects. I will still shape the lighting and control it, but I'm trying to design a world that you can walk into and put a camera in and it'll photograph well. We approached the beginning kind of more from this point of view of a drama. I'm still trying to bake in deep shadows. I'm still trying to bake in darkness because this is Saw, and also this is a world, of discovery, and the audience is going along for that journey of discovery as well. And then we move into Mexico, which is suddenly, it's vibrant, it's lush, it's green, it's red, it's like these kind of sort of beautiful yellows and golds, and then once you hit the scam, or once you hit this recognition of the scam, we really wanted to create something that was, a lot of the conversation before that is about geography. It's how do we connect the hacienda to the warehouse, because they're two completely different places and locations. How do we shoot them in a way that those feel completely fluid? This movie had more interdepartmental conversations than any other project I'd worked on. Once you get into a trap, you're dealing with special effects, prosthetics, VFX, production design, lighting ultimately, and cinematography, and all of those elements have to come together. Costumes as well. Like, there's so many different elements, and all of that's designed to capture this performance that's in front of you. As well as, we had a lot of stunts in all of these traps as well. So I think what was exciting about this and also challenging was there were a lot of interdepartmental meetings, bringing everybody together to talk about every trap in specificity from every department's perspective. I've had so many goosebump moments on this movie. From the very beginning, the moment that I got the script, because I remember when I read the script and I told Kevin this, I don't know if I told him this in my interview or after I got hired, but I was like, to me, this feels like the best script of the franchise. And I thought we had the chance to make the best movie of the franchise because no other part of the franchise has gotten to completely invest the audience in Jigsaw and Tobin Bell and Kramer. And all of us want more of him and wanted to see more of him and know more about him as a character. So from the very beginning, I thought we have a chance to do something really special and really great. And I felt so lucky to be a part of that.